Okay, now students, I will present to you today's theme. What is the theme for today's? This is education support for children with SEN. And I want to explain you that what is the abbreviation SEN? What is it? First of all, I want to explain you this abbreviation. SEN, this is Special Education Needs. Значит, специальные образовательные потребности, то есть человек, который нуждается в помощи, да, посторонней помощи. But now and in future, we will say SEN, yeah, Special Education Needs. Okay, now let me introduce you with today's plan of our lesson. They are, we will talk about what is SEN, I mean Special Education Needs, yeah, and special education need definition. What it has a definition, and some examples of SEN include what is include SEN, their types, their kinds, and we will talk at last the history of SEN. I mean, special educational needs history. From what time it will develop it and use it in our teachers, in our educational system. Yes. So in this text, we will see other words and word combinations which we'll need to translate now. They are certainly you already know the translation of SEN, yeah, специально образовательные потребности, and next is comprehensive school. Comprehensive school, as you know, общеобразовательная школа, как нынешняя общая школа, да, общеобразовательная школа. Next is a learning physical impairment. What is it? This is изучение физического развития. То есть здесь мы должны изучать физическое развитие ребенка. То есть какого ребенка? Именно который нуждается в специальной образовательной потребности, да, который имеет специальные образовательные потребности. Okay, and the next word combination is affects behavior and social skills. Как это переводится? Влияет на поведение и социальные навыки. And I hope that you know the translation of this word, vision. Yes, vision, зрение, да. Yes, and the next is local authority. Local authority, местный орган власти. I mean here the educational local authority. Yes, what kind of local authority we have? Yes, certainly the administration of a local authority or Department of Educational System. Yes. Okay, and smaller group observation. This is наблюдение за меньшей группой. Certainly, who needs for special education, certainly we will gather to one group for one group, and after that, after training them, we will complex them to the other groups who they have the health is good, yeah, good health. And what is called such groups? We will talk later. This is inclusive education. Yes, okay. And now let me say you what is special education needs. This is человек со специальными образовательными потребностями, как мы уже до этого сказали, говорили об этом. Значит, человек, который нуждается в особой помощи. Да? У кого-то больны ноги, у кого-то хромают, да? У кого-то руки, допустим, не в состоянии, чтобы обслуживать сам по себе. Так, и дальше мы будем продолжать, как они называются в других странах. То есть Special Education Needs, SEN, and also known as Special Education Needs and Disabilities. D is add here, as you notice, disabilities. Where is a noun? We know that in the United Kingdom refers to the education of children with disabilities. And next is the definition of SEN is set out in the Abbreviation Act of 1996 and was amended in the Special Educational Needs and Disability Bill 2001. Currently, a child or young person is considered special education need if they have a learning disability or difficulty, which means they need a special educational provision. A special education provision means that a child needs support that will not generally be provided to a child of the same age in a comprehensive school. Now, what include special educational needs? Certainly, first of all, they include conditions that affects behavior and social skills, such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. We say usually ADHD, yes, as you see here, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or autism. Autism, да? Да. Ага. И следующее, next is a condition that affects the ability to read and write, such as dyslexia or other special learning difficulties. Yes, the learning for them very difficult. And it is very difficult for them write or read anything. Yes, and a condition that affects the ability to learn, such as a learning physical impairment. Yes, and here I want to say you that special education needs include also including vision, including vision and hearing, and chronic health conditions are poor mobility. Yes. Okay. What are the types? Has the special educational needs? Now let's talk about the types. As you see here, there are numerous types of support available depending on the child or the young person's disability. Some support offered includes, which one is first? Yes, certainly help with personal hygiene, such as food or toilet, support to communicate with other students, yeah, and working in a small group. After a different training program from the rest of the class, or additional assistance from a teaching or classroom assistant. Additional control in the class or during the break. Yes, they are the types of support available depending on the child or the young person's disability. Okay, now let me say some words about the history of special educational needs. As you see, local authorities became responsible for the education of deaf children and blind children in 1893. The education of children with disabilities became mandatory in the prevailing attitude of the Education Act of 1918. At that time was that children with disabilities should be sent to schools rather than attend mainstream schools. The Education Act of 1944 created a reserve for children with disabilities to receive special pedagogical treatment in special schools. Children must have a medical examination to be eligible for this. Some children were classified as immedicable and were not required to attend school. Yes? Okay, now you have to uh, learn to remember the years of their becoming by local authorities, yeah, the responsible of education of deaf children and blind children, yes, and this year 1980 that the education of children with disabilities became mandatory, yes, in the prevailing attitude of the Education Act. That time the children with disabilities should be sent to schools rather than attend mainstream schools. And this year 1944, what's happened on that year? Yes, that the Education Act created a reserve for children who have disabilities to receive special pedagogical treatment. And from that time, the children who need for special pedagogical treatment began study in such schools as they called special schools. Yes. Now the next is about special education need applications. Okay, when were introduced special education needs? Yes, certainly. 1978. Special education need applications were introduced in 1978, and parents of children with disabilities were granted the right to appeal decisions made by local authorities about making decisions about their child's education by the Education Act 1981, stating that children should be educated in regular schools whenever possible. The Education Act 1993 sets out guidelines for identifying students with special educational needs and assessing their needs. In 2001, special educational needs and disability law outlaw discrimination against students with disabilities in schools, colleges, and other educational institutions. It also introduced special educational needs and disability tribunal. Yes, and now, state examination, some support for children with special education need include what they include. Additional time to complete the examiner's breaks. Do you know examiner's breaks? Yes, that they have examiners. They need for breaks when they are examining, and the use of the reader, the use of the reader, the use of a scribe, and using a live speaker for exams that include audio recording, and yes, using professional communication. I mean, a person who can translate questions into English, sign language, or international sign language. Yes, and completing the exam in a separate room or location from other candidates in the school. Exemption from certain parts of the qualification. Yes, now let's uh, talk about the includes. Are there any includes for special educational needs students, or what kind of the includes we uh, know about them? Okay, children under 5, special education need, support for children under 5 includes a written progress check when your child is 2 years. All children health visitor carrying out a health check for your child if they are aged 2 to 3, a written assessment in a summer term of your child's first year of primary school, making reasonable adjustments for disabled children. Yes, like providing aids like tactile signs nurseries, playgroups, and childminders registered with offset follow in the early years foundation stage. This is in abbreviation to EYFS, and its framework. Okay, the framework makes sure that there's support in place for children with special education needs and disability. Talk to a doctor or health advisor if you think your child has special education needs and disability, but they don't go to a nursery, playgroup, or childminder. They will tell you what support options are available. And children between 5 and 15 talk to the teacher or the SEN coordinator. This is an abbreviation too. You have to remember this word too. Special education need coordinator. If you think your child needs a special learning program, extra help from a teacher or assistant to work in a smaller group observation in class, or at break, help taking part in class activities, extra encouragement in their learning, for example, to ask questions or to try something they find difficult, some communicating with other children, support with physical or personal care difficulties, for example, eating, getting around school safely, or using the toilet. Yes? And now let's discuss about SEN needs students who have 16, who are 16 years old. Yeah. Young people aged 16 or over in further education contact the college before your child starts further education to make sure that they can meet your child's needs. The college and your local authority will talk to your child about the support they need. And here I give you some words and word combinations for translating into English. Now let's do exercise. Let's translate these words. Give the English equivalents, the following words and words combinations. Педагогическое образование. Let's translate it. Certainly. Right, please. Write to your copybooks, and after translating, certainly you may say them. Педагогическое образование. The next, политехнический институт. Следующее, колледж высшего образования. Степень, выпускник, аспирант, бакалавр, дальнейшее обучение, исследовательская работа, магистр, студент дневного отделения, лектор, практические занятия, будущий учитель. Okay, what do you think? What is combined these words and word combinations with our today's title? Yes, certainly. Even our students are special educational need students. They will study in all the kind of educational system, yes, such as pedagogical, I mean, any colleges or institutions, organizations, or any universities with different specialities, certainly, and they may take their degrees as you. The health is good health. Students take the bachelor degree. Certainly, the special educational needs students will can take the bachelor degree too, and they will be as a doctoral degree students, and they will be busy with research work. Certainly, after that they will to pass to master's degree, and they will certainly study in our full-time studies, and certainly they will be as a teacher of different schools. Okay, this is your homework. Exercise number 2. Translate the sentence into English. Here is given the Russian equivalent, and you will translate them into English. This exercise is content to our topic about special education media. And your homework, exercise number 3, here you will insert prepositions where necessary. Yeah. To the places of doubts, certainly you may insert prepositions if they are necessary here. For example, the house is surrounded. We need here one preposition, yeah. And what kind of preposition? Yes, a lot of lakes. Yes, the house is surrounded a lot of lakes. Okay, now I will give the other homework home tasks from our textbook. So I will stop this demonstration. So the lesson is over. Goodbye, students.